Yeah. So like,
What happened?
so before I think we even talked about the patch notes, introduced the idea of like what is going on and why people are upset about it. Um, they announced last week that there is a race going on right now for hardcore players to hit level 100. And I think it's the first 100 hardcore players to hit 100 get their name on a Lilith statue that goes in Blizzard. It stays in the offices.
I totally thought that they were going to make these statues
first 1,000,
and print out the name and send it to those people. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. You get a collectible, have your name on it. And then I found out today that it's a statue. They're just going to have their username on a statue that's staying at the Blizzard
Staying
headquarters.
at Blizzard, the cheaper version, yeah. the cheaper alternative to sending 1,000 Lilith statues. They're going to just keep it, which
that is a decision.
I think it's kind of cooler to be like immortalized at the developers thing instead of getting the like $600 statue. I don't know, but that's me, right? I'm different, I guess.
Having a personalized statue?
I mean, you can go, if you want a personalized statue, you can go get like a piece of metal engraved. I don't know.
But I mean, it's from, okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, they have like,
people
they
are
have
different.
like websites like Hero Forge or whatever that you can make like, like third party shit.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Anyways, that's what the prize is. It's 1,000 names on a statue at Blizzard. And so that got announced, and like immediately the Path of Exile hardcore community, as well as the hardcore community of Diablo, was like energized, right? It was a great marketing move. People got very excited about the game. No one's hit level 100 yet in hardcore.
Streamers went crazy for it.
Streamers went crazy. Softcore had its first 100, I think, earlier this morning. Rob, who was a barbarian player who probably was a very large contributor to the nerfs that we're about to talk about, and kind of brings up another point that I do want to dive into. But all that said, the race is going on right now. And last night at like 1:30 a.m. local for me, so like 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern, they dropped a patch into the game that severely nerfed Whirlwind Barbs, which was like one of the, probably the best spec in the game. And essentially, if you weren't already planning to switch spec, which isn't really a thing, you had your complete character just nerfed, like through and through.
What did they do exactly?
They changed one of the shout times from like a certain amount of time to another amount of time so that they're a lot more, you take a lot more damage. And they also changed Arc Sorks, which I'm not playing. I'm playing a Sork, but I'm not playing the Arc build. And essentially just changed Paragon stats, where it was like, damage kind of just went down across the board. And so for people that are like in this race and, quote unquote competing, while it's not necessarily a strict competition, if you're
it's not sanctioned by Blizzard, right?
It is sanctioned by Blizzard.
It's run by Blizzard.
But it's not like an esport type deal. It's you win your name on a trophy.
Okay, I was under the impression that this was just like, so you could say you were world first to get to 100 or whatever. But they like in the middle of the journey to 100, the people who were leading, they were like, nope, no, go back. No. You have to wait for people to catch up.
They nerfed it.
What's going to be wild? What's going to be wild is to think that there were players that were on the way to maybe being in the top 1,000 that now may not make it into the top 1,000 because of this nerf.
That's why it's so fucked up. Dude. It's really fucking lame. Yeah, they
well, and JP, or not JP, excuse me. And Zeke, here's the other side of it that a lot of people are also being very understandably critical about. The only people that compete in this contest are the ones that bought the $100 edition, because it started when the game opened instead of when the general game opened, which is in 28 hours. So it's like, dude, entry fee was essentially the best edition.
Yeah.
If I paid for that shit, I paid for the extra shit to get my and I was on my way to getting this
thing.
This prize at the end.
They disabled leaderboards too, so it's like Like we don't have leaderboards
Yeah.
in Diablo 4 where we've had those in previous games.
Yeah.
And then they chose to have this major competition.
The way that you
So
submit,
it's a lot of weirdness.
the
man.
way that you submit is by going on Twitter and tweeting an image of your character with the hashtag, which is like, that's definitely going to have some problems. Like there's definitely going to be some issues with that we'll probably discover later this week in the next potentially 24, 48 hours.
So it's good. So wait, hold on. Just to be clear, does that mean theoretically somebody could beat someone into the top 1,000, but then someone could tweet it first, and then like how?
I don't know how they're doing it. I guess they could like go check server logs if they have a name. To me, it seems like a fucking headache is what that is. Like, how do you verify that without pulling server logs?
I'm surprised they can't just tell on their side. You know that seems weird. Like,
yeah,
just monitor your player base, and it's all online anyway. I mean, give us at least one. Give us one reason that the game has to be online to play.
It might just be for marketing purposes, so that a ton of people are tweeting that they're level 100, and like that hashtag gets popular, and maybe they're just going to check logs in the first place. I don't know. It's a weird thing to begin with, and I think Blizzard might be surprised at how serious people are going to take it / have taken it so far.
Especially
and that'll
as we
bite
start
them in
getting
the
to
ass.
Especially when we start getting to the last 50 and stuff like that, and people start fighting over if they should have been on the 1,000 list and stuff, and that's going to be
the nerfing it thing is insane to me. When I saw those nerfs right as I was about to fall asleep last night, I was just like, what the how the fuck are they doing that? Like, that is wild.
Well, it's the people who care about world first are like min-maxers.
Totally.
Obviously, they have to be min-maxers. So is it that big of a fucking deal if all the top 1,000 were all playing the same build? That just makes your, like, whoever gets there, they're all gonna be barbarians, but whoever gets there faster, like, that's what they care about. Fucking leave it alone. What are you doing?
And also at this point, to have like multiple days go by where it's like the people that have already been using it are that far ahead, but like they're also that established. Like they're talking, they're high 70s now. Some are in the 80s. It's like that's not.
I think
really
mid
like
80s is where they're at.
Yeah. So it's just very much.
It's wild.
It's
now,
wild.
I don't care about this particular competition, but I am a competitive person, and I know how that feels to like.
Oh, it sucks.
Like be in a competition and feel like it's unfucking fair.
Yeah. Well, there's so many facets of it too. Co mentioned the money. The other thing is the time. I mean, these people have, like, the person that hit 100
We're taking
this
off
morning,
work for this.
100%. The person that hit 100 in softcore this morning did 56 hours played on his character and has slept 8 hours since the launch of the game.
3 days.
In 3 days.
Yeah.
One, unbelievably healthy. But if you're doing that and you're still not 100 in hardcore and your character just gets completely nerfed, like, the rage has to just be it's so much higher. Like, the percentage of rage scaled right there is just crazy. I said healthy. I meant unhealthy. Sorry. The whole thing's a complete. I would suspect that the devs are upset that marketing ran the quote unquote race in the way that they did, because the devs will take the shit for that and not marketing.
It's one of those situations where it's like, if this kind of thing was done properly, then it could have been a huge boon to marketing, but now it's tainted.
Yeah. It's
tainted in multiple different ways, and it's not just going to be like a big positive event. Like, this is going to be messy. It's going to be real messy.
Yeah.
It's already messy, and it's going to get more messy.